I got some comment that said something that I'd never heard. So someone said that they were taught that women could get sealed to their husbands and then in the afterlife decide if she still wants to stay married to him. And I was like, I have never heard this. So I posted a story. Who has heard this? I really want to say half of the people said that they were taught that, and half of them said that they never heard that. I had never heard that. My husband had never heard that before. I sincerely do not ever remember hearing that. I really don't get it. How do they justify that? From all the DMs I got, there was a lot of like, my grandma used that to like hold out hope that after she died, she didn't have to be with him anymore. Kind of hold on to like, I get choice in the next life. And I feel like people would use that in Mormonism to try to seem like they're being more progressive. Like they think it sounds like they're giving women more power in the afterlife, which is more important than power now. So you get married in the temple, you're sealed, you're married forever. If you make it so one of the people can choose when they get to heaven, number one, why couldn't they choose before heaven? Because this whole arrangement sounds a lot like you're saying, you get sealed, you are stuck with this guy no matter what. But if he was a real asshole, you can decide in the afterlife if you want to be with him or not. But you can't decide like on earth. And then also, then what's the point of the sealing? And then also, can the guy not decide if he would want to be with someone after life or not? Also, isn't like every relationship supposed to be we're both deciding to be together or we're not? What is this whole scenario? And the other thing that kept coming up was the name. The husband was going to call her new name, which he knows, and she could choose to answer it or not. I heard that multiple times. I was taught, my understanding was that the point of the new name was so that my husband could say it to resurrect me. That my husband was going to be the one to resurrect me, as demonstrated by us doing the, through the veil when we got married. Well, before we got married. We did that through the veil before we got married. They even approved it. Anyway, he pulls you through to the celestial room, symbolizing that he resurrected you. So in my head, I'm dead in my grave. I don't know what's going on out there. And God comes, Jesus comes down. He's like, it's time to resurrect your wives. So and my husband comes over and like, Rachel. Is there a prayer? Do you learn a prayer? Like how to resurrect your wife? And then I'm like, then I get to know all the good, cool stuff that's going around. That's what I understood the name was supposed to be. But now I'm hearing that the name is supposed to be, Bob in the afterlife going, Carol. And Carol's like, Bob, not anymore. Why is this a point that people have been taught? And how do they square it with getting married in the temple equals you are sealed together forever? Unless Carol decides she doesn't want to be with you after life because she tried it in life, wasn't really great, so she's going to decide to not. But then does she have another option of husband? Because she has to have a husband. So she forfeits a husband, do you think? There's some weird stuff going on about this one.
If the woman is choosing not to be with her husband who she's sealed to, she's choosing the wrong.
Well, how do you know?
The covenant. No, I'm talking about a Mormon doctrine. Because if you're both righteous, you will both want the sealing. That's the whole idea. They weren't taught that a righteous woman would do that. They were taught an unrighteous woman is making the choice not to be sealed because she's being unrighteous.
These people were telling me that they were taught that their nice, happy grandma, sweet woman, not doing anything wrong, married in the temple, after they die, could choose not to be with their husband, and that these women were kind of hoping that would be the case.
That's implied, but no, I don't believe they were taught that.
Then why would all of these people be coming up here and messaging me?
The way I would understand it is baptisms for the dead. We're doing it for people, and then they get to choose whether the thing that was done on earth for them,
right,
do they want that or not?
Yeah, but why would you not want it?
So that wouldn't Grandma want to be with Grandpa.
So there's no point. But that's the thing. They're kind of bringing up a problem in their own scenario. You get baptized for people in the temple, and they can decide, right? But in the Mormon mind, nobody's going to not decide that. Once you die, you realize Mormonism was true, so they'll all decide it. So, and the same thing when someone gets married. Why bring up you can decide after if you want to do it? It's just to make other people feel like your doctrine isn't that weird. You're like, yeah, we're getting baptized for people so that they can be Mormon later, so that they can choose to be Mormon, which they will after they die. Other people don't like that, even though it's absolute bullshit, so who cares? But so they're like, no, but they can choose. But then why bring that up with weddings?
That's just an example as far as you can push the logic of Mormon doctrine. Why are we baptizing everyone? What happens if they didn't want it? And then that's the answer. So then they take that logic and extend it Well, what if you don't want to be married and you're sealed forever? Like, you can't do anything about that? Oh, no, you get to choose.
But why did they focus it on the women getting to choose? They don't like women choosing anything. It's another pat on the head.
Yeah, it's a patriarchy thing. Because a man's not going to choose not to have a wife, and plus he can just get another one.
A whole lot of them.